Yo, what's up everybody? It's X420 Rolo. I'm going to show you my tank DPS build. We're going to start with the champion points. We got 67 points into Magician. If you were to add one more point, it's only a 0.1% bonus, so it's called diminishing return. So we're going to go ahead and put the rest of the points over here into Magicka recovery. 60 points over there, and then we want 40 points into tumbling and break free because it's gets away from a lot of the damage. You can reset and kind of put the fight in your direction. If you're stunned, you're not gonna be able to. You're gonna die, plain and simple. I got my points a little split up into here: 10 into Blessed, 20 into Elfborn, 40 into Elemental Expert, and 20 into Spell Erosion. And I got no points into the Atronach and 77 points into Thaumaturge. It's not damage over time. There's a lot of damage over time abilities with Templars, so there's a lot of bonuses from that. At 35 points into critical resistance, we have 75 points into this tree, 30 into Hardy, 35 into Elemental Defender, and 10 into Thick Skin. Then we have the rest into this tree, 20, 10, and 27. My Bastion is actually my Sun Shield, or Blazing Shield now, and Harness Magicka. So eventually Bastion is going to be really good for you, especially on this new patch where Harness Magicka is going to do physical. This is my character sheet. As you can see, it's 40k magic and 2400 spell damage with 1410 Magicka recovery. I personally like to run it with, instead of having 3 weapon damage or spell damage plus max Magicka, I have 1 recovery with max health. So I get a little bit more max health and a little bit more max recovery, and I lose a little bit of spell damage. So for me, it's a better way to run it. I know most people would like to run more spell damage, but I have no problem burning people down and having more sustain and lasting a lot longer. It just benefits me. So we're going to go through the skills real quick. Start off with the armor. So we're going to go 3 Ring of Willpower. You could rock the spell damage set, but I like to rock the Magicka recovery. I have both of them though. We got Heavy Kagnarak's Hope Boots in pen. You're going to have Heavy Magnus Legs in pen. Heavy Gauntlets of Kagnarak's Hope in pen. Light Magnus Sash in pen. Medium Magnus Shoulders in pen. Infused Magnus Chest Heavy. The only reason it's infused is because I already have a gold, and it's got a triglyph, so I have no problem having a triglyph. You know, it's a little bit of a bonus. Doesn't hurt even a little bit. And then we have Heavy Helmet of Kagnarak's Hope in pen. So everything has Magicka glyphs. I still have plenty of magic. Your spell damage is really on magic, or how hard you hit is also based on your magic, not just your spell damage. So we got the Maelstrom Mace. It also gives me 774 max health, and then I got Magnus Shield. So on my back bar, I have Maelstrom Mace with Magnus Shield and it's Nernhone, so I get a little bit more resistance, plus the health isn't that much lower. Normally dual wield plus Kagnarak's is going to give you more health, but in this case it's only 300 points difference. We're going to show you the bars real quick. Squares got Breath of Life. Triangle's got Radiant Glory. Circle's got Toppling Charge. L1's Mage Light. R1 Puncturing Sweep. And my ult is Devouring Swarm. Now that I'm not going to be popped out of stealth too often, or I'm always out of stealth, sorry. Back bar's got Blazing Shield. Purifying Ritual. And Blazing Shield, it's really good. I'm not a Imperial Templar, so it's not my base of my build. I don't run everything off of Blazing Shield. I actually just use it in case I want to reset a little bit, you know. The back bar is more debuffs and buffs, and my front bar is buffs. Damage. So we got Defensive Posture morphed into Absorb Magic. I think I'm going to switch this to the one that reflects, and then Channeled Focus on L1 and Proxed on R1. I don't have Dark Flare because it gets reflected a lot, and I end up doing more damage to myself than they would to me anyways. So basically what you'd want to do is use your back bar and you proc everything. So you're going to proc your channel focus first, and then you're going to proc the blazing shield, defensive posture, followed by the cleansing ritual in case they marked you, and then your proc stat last, because the proc stat's going to blow up in 8 seconds, and if you have everything rolling, it'll give you just enough time to bring them down to maybe a certain amount of health. Then when the proc stat blows up is while you're puncturing and sweeping. As soon as it blows up, you're going to want to burn. You could add Dark Flare, but I'm telling you it's going to get reflected a lot. Actually, really good ability to have is Blazing Spear. I just don't know what you'd want to replace. A lot of people have Cleansing Ritual in PvP, so you could use that instead of Purifying Ritual. If you don't have Proximity Det, Dark Flare is a really good skill to put in that pace. But for the most part, if you're fighting a really good player, they're going to reflect that to you. A Templar can just defensive posture, and Dragon Knights obviously can deflect anything. The Magicka Sorks, a lot of builds can deflect this, so it's not a surefire DPS thing. It is the highest tooltip that you can have, but it's not the best DPS in my opinion. So those are the skills that I have. I could rock Entropy. That's one thing that I am missing, but I don't lose too much damage, so it's not killing me, honestly. So I'm just showing you basically where I put all my skill points, all the passives and all the class abilities. We got one-handed shield, only the absorb magic, plus I have the first 4. You don't really need the third one though, because I don't really shield bash too often, so it's not really too beneficial. And we might get this other one, it's a movement. And then on the dual wield, you only want the last 2. Okay. Destruction Staff, I don't have any points. Restoration Staff, I have some passives in there, but I don't really use it, so just in case I want to use it. We got Harness Magic. It's going to get reflected to physical damage, so that's a good spell. We're going to get the first 3 passives in light, and the first 3 and the last one on medium. You're going to want all the passives on heavy, since we're running 5-piece heavy. And we are running the Undaunted, so you want passives in the other 2 as well. I have Vampirism, pointing to those passives there. Fighters Guild has Slayer, Skill Tractor, and Bounty Hunter. And Mage Guild, we have Ice Comet, Inner Light, Structured Entropy. And like I was saying, you could run Structured Entropy, and I actually had it on my front bar, and I would replace the Radiant Oppression. So when you put it on your front bar, you get dual abilities of Mage Guild, so it's going to stack, and it's going to give you more Max Magicka, so you're going to hit harder. And on top of that, Structured Entropy, when you proc it, obviously my puncturing sweeps go from 1300 to 1800 base damage, so that's a big difference. But I use potions as well, so as long as you're using potions that give you spell power, it's not a huge loss on not wearing it. It also gives you a little bit of health. So if you're rocking a Blazing Shield build, I think you do want Structured Entropy. But me personally, it doesn't kill my build, and I kind of use what I really do need. I got my points into the passives of Assault and Support. Resurrection time is nice. I'm a high elf, so I would suggest you guys use Breton, honestly, because the elemental talent doesn't help me. I don't use Destruction Staffs in the case of one day that they make them Beast, and it's going to benefit me, then maybe the high elves will be better. But for the moment, I think I'm losing around 10k resistance by not being Breton. So I'm going to make a Breton and compare it to this high elf eventually, but for now, this is what we're going to go off of. I'm just going to show you where I put all my skill points that are necessary. The first thing that you want to do is make sure you have it into the ones that give you extra research time and speeds everything up, because your research is obviously very important. And then Kenai is also very important because you make money off of finding reagents and ingredients. And provisioning, you're only gonna, if you have no skill points like me, you're gonna want to put them into the ones that benefit you when consuming something. And then woodworking, I don't really use anymore. So those are my skills. For the most part, that explains the entire build. Now we're gonna go through some PvP clips of me 1vxing a few Sometimes I have my Zerg buddies come help me, but for the most part, I'm just running around trying to test out this build. Notice the resistance that I have, my resources, they last a very long time, and as you can see, I have no problem burning people down, you know. It's just, I'm not all DPS. I have had a build where I'm all DPS. You're not going to get the one-shot ability, but I hit very hard still, and the main thing is they can't hit me very hard. You can just heal. One breath of life will get me back up. The back bar being all the debuffs and buffs lets you stay alive by having the blazing shield on there while you're buffing and debuffing, and then the front bar is all your damage. So go ahead and enjoy it, and let me know if you guys have any comments, and thank you very much.